Welcome to the Upright Digital Studios in Houston, Texas. We are coming to you live from the Heights location. This is our favorite. This is my favorite location to do because it's just easy. This is where the Upright Digital office is. We are coming to you on our new cameras, our new setup. We've had this office a little bit over a year, but we just invested quite a bit of money, quite a bit of time into new cameras, the same microphones, but the setup we have. If you could come take a look at what we have. It's awesome. We've always had the best studios in Houston, Texas, but we have, everything we're looking at, it's a 3-touch system. It's iPads, cameras. We have TVs now that I'm looking at. We've always had the production studio room. And all of that was done by our interns this summer in help with Hanaro and Caitlin and a couple other people. But you guys were a big part of this. So I'm going to introduce you guys here in a minute. I like to hear myself talk. Did I even say my name? Did I say this is Josh Lowrey? I didn't. Guys, this is Josh Lowrey. We founded Galtway Industries in 2012. We founded Upright Digital in 2017, so we're almost 10 years old for Upright. So since the beginning, since 2012, we've had an intern, at least one every year. And typically we like to have 2 interns, and we call them Intern 1 or Intern 2 every year. And each year we make them earn their name. So they could have a short name, 3 or 4 letters, or they could have a very long name, which we've had people with very long names. And we make them earn their name 1 letter at a time. It's almost like reverse horse, where you have to go out and do something. So the reason that we make them do that is when people hear about this, they think it's kind of torture at first. But the reason that we do this is because we don't give you, like, go get coffee, go get, drinks or lunch or something. That's not the kind of internships that we offer. We actually give people real work, and there's real consequences at the end of this work. So there is we do put the name Intern 1, Intern 2 on people because it's like, I want you to want to be called your real name as quickly as possible. And you can also, if you screw up, you lose a letter. So you can we've had people that have earned their name and they messed up. We've had to take a letter and they go back to being Intern 1 or Intern 2. So who was Intern 1?
That would be me.
Okay, that sweet voice that you just heard is Vanessa Machado, Intern 1. Vanessa, hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me today.
So, Vanessa, we're just going to leave Intern 2 in the dark here for a minute, and we'll introduce you real quick. So, Vanessa, you are in school where?
I study at University of Houston.
Okay, what are you studying?
I'm studying marketing, and I'm pursuing a minor in media production.
Media production, okay.
Yeah.
So this is right up your alley.
Perfect internship.
Have you loved it?
I have. Everything that I've had to do, as you said, with the studio since we went through this automation process has been perfect.
Right up your alley?
Exactly.
I like to hear that. So I would love to leave Intern 2 on red for quite some time here, but we won't do that to him. He's a good guy. So Daniel, oh crap, I did it. I blew the name too quickly. Intern 2.
Intern 2.
Daniel Martinez.
Yes, sir.
How are you, buddy?
I'm feeling great. Really blessed to be here.
Yeah. So you guys have both been on our social media quite a bit this summer. I actually saw your social media, which you guys had been producing when I was out of the country, and I'm like, these guys are doing great. I was really impressed. So Daniel Martinez, where are you in college?
I just recently graduated from the University of Houston as well.
You're fighting for a job right now. I like this.
I am.
You're actually doing a great job. So
thank you.
And how have you enjoyed the summer internship?
I think it's been amazing. Something that was really interesting coming and starting the internship was how different the market is in terms of what we do in Upright compared to other companies.
Yeah.
And experiences that I've had in the past. And I feel like learning from the industry through Upright has been something incredible.
What do you say? What are we doing different than others? What does that mean?
I mean, the market that is targeted to is completely different to the one that I've been exposed in the past. So I feel like learning those different techniques and the approach that needs to be done in order to target properly the energy and oil and gas companies is different to what I've been used to doing.
What were you doing before?
I used to work at the Rockwell Career Center. That was a business development center in the University of Houston, a career service department. So the marketing that I did there was targeted to students in order to engage them, for them to use pretty much the services that we offered in that office, that were all the career fairs, suit closet that we had, access to the career counselors, and different type of opportunities for them to boost their performance as students and also in the job search.
Okay.
That it's could be difficult. So having that hand of people that are experts in that was something really, really interesting. And that marketing was of inviting students to do things. So it was more of like a customer driven, like consumer pretty much type of role. So it was a little bit different to what it is here. That is more business to business.
Yeah. So, I remember you guys are still in school. You just got out. So
Yes.
we're basically the same age, the three of us.
Basically.
I'm mid-20s ish, but I'm old enough to remember back when U of H got its Tier 1 designation. And A&M has it, Texas A&M, University of Texas has it, and U of H. And I think those are the only 3 schools in Texas that actually have their Tier 1 designation. And I remember thinking, University of Houston has a Tier 1 designation, and it was a big deal when it got it. And the reason that matters is the talent. Daniel, I'm going to take that watch and throw it across the room here.
I'm sorry.
You throw that watch. Listen, our young intern is looking at his watch like he has somewhere to go. Where are you going today?
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going places, just not today. I'm going places.
You are going places.
Hopefully.
Buddy, you're definitely going places, no doubt. Maybe sooner than later if you keep looking at that watch. But other than that, you're going places. So the U of H student that comes out today is fully prepared for work. It really is a great student that they're putting out these days. And like the career center you're talking about, isn't there like a sales and entrepreneur
Yeah, so
program in there?
It seems like I'm selling here at UH.
But no, I don't mind. It's a great school.
And I am
By the way, what do Aggies do? All they do is talk about A&M. All Longhorns do is talk about Longhorns. We talk about some U of H Cougs.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a school that is it's super interesting because it's in the heart of Houston.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about this earlier in the office about how in this moment in which we graduated high school, or the moment, well, I went initially to community college. So apart from the decision of me coming to study in the U.S., I also went through that process of deciding where I wanted to go in school, and understanding the different possibilities and the different contexts. And UH is so incredibly diverse that it gives you such a broad idea of how the world works in different contexts and how cultures are different. And I feel like even though the business might be the business in like it will be the same in different places, I feel like understanding how different people are is also something that invites people to do great as well.
So Daniel is from Colombia.
Colombia, yes sir.
And Vanessa, you're actually from Venezuela.
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Their Spanish and English is much better than my Spanish, so I won't test it today. But and how long have you been in the States?
I've been here for 4 years and a couple days now.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Was your English how was it before you got here?
My English was, I went to a bilingual school growing up in Colombia.
Okay.
So I was always exposed to English in an academic context as well. But I've always said to people that the main reason why my English is good and it has got better is because obviously living here, the exposure to the everyday English has made it better. But also while I was in Colombia, my dad has always been a really big music and film fan. So unlike a lot of kids in Colombia, I grew up listening to the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Elton John, Paul Simon, and this bunch of great English-speaking artists.
Okay.
And I've also been a film enthusiast because of my dad. So obviously all this big Hollywood.
What was one of the movies you grew up with as a kid?
Forrest Gump was my growing up favorite. And I absolutely love Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
And I feel like those two movies have had a really big impact in my life. And English in general with that thing that I mentioned of the music and the film industry completely boosted.
And Vanessa, you came here early though in your life.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a head start from Daniel, and I moved here in 2011.
But your dad's an oil and gas guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we moved because of his job.
Yeah. So that he was, and listen, we've talked about this off air. Your dad is, so the Galtway Industries is oil and gas, and there was a huge influx of Venezuelan oil and gas people at that time. So he is right in line with thousands of guys and girls that came up during that time, that smart people that just were like, oh, we don't have a job here anymore. Fantastic. So, and they were hired across Camerons and FMCs, excuse me, Hydro. Like they just, there was lots of engineered type people that were just, we'll take you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what happened?
Exactly what happened.
Okay.
And yeah, I never thought about taking that route. Like, well, we moved around a lot when I was younger. And
In the States or?
Well, when I was born, we lived in Trinidad. We went to Mexico. And
because he was with his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he used to work, like, actually on the field.
Okay.
And he's working up the ranks. So, like, now we're comfortable here in the States. But I never expected to find myself in that route, and then I came home. I was like, oh, guess who's working for the oil and gas industry now?
What does he think about that?
He likes it.
Yeah.
And I like it too. I mean, I've been surrounded by that. I mean, I never fully understood the extent of it, because he'd come home, he'd talk to me about those things. I was like, wow. I don't really understand. Wow. But, now I come home and I'm like, oh, well, look at what I'm learning about. Look at what I can do. And he was like, oh, like, you know about this stuff now?
Yeah, your version is a lot cleaner than his version. I will guarantee it.
For sure.
He had if he's working off, onshore, offshore in 90s, early 2000s, and, it's amazing the paths that my parents paved for I mean, look, you guys are 2 University of Houston students, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. You're a graduate. I mean, I'm sure the level of pride that they have right now is substantial.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I don't take anything for granted, and I feel so grateful that you guys even gave us the opportunity to be here working for you guys. Yeah.
Oh, listen, the negative for me is I'm personally pretty intense. So I'm probably a little too intense for interns. So you need a couple of barriers between me and your day-to-day activity, because, listen, I always tell interns, when you're an intern, you're competing with each other and other interns that are 20-somethings out there. The day you graduate, you have to compete with me. And you're not going to beat me unless you are as good as you can be every single day for the rest of your life. And that is an intense pressure.
Yeah.
And you need to be prepared for that. Like, internships are awesome. But, there's a phrase that I tell people that, a B will get you through school, but a B will get you fired. B effort gets you through school, B effort gets you fired.
Oh, yeah.
And, or at least gets you a job that you're going to hate for the rest of your life. So only A effort, A mindset, A visualization, A plus, that's the only life you're really going to want to lead. And, I'm hoping, and we're going to get to these questions at some point, maybe. But, an A plus mindset is really, I hope you see that in our company with our people. Like we're fun.
I was about to say that. I see that reflected in everything that you
I love that, because we're fun. Like, I mean, how many jokes do we make? I mean, we call our interns intern.
Yeah.
Like we make, I mean, there are conversations we have, and we're not going to talk about them on air, that no other company is going to have.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And I feel like that also makes the people that work in Albright happy, because when you're in a place where you cannot be yourself, and you're probably feeling worried about how, like, if you want to say something, you doubt yourself if you want to do it or not. And I feel like that turns off the shine of a lot of people that are actually really bright.
Well, there's, again, the phrase.
I mean, it depends what you're going to say. But
well, I mean, honestly, you can say a lot of things as long as you say them with respect.
Of course.
Like, there's a lot of questions that can be asked in life genuinely, even if they're stupid, if they're not disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, there's, how are you going to learn if you don't ask a question?
Of course.
Very true.
There's no such a thing as a wrong question.
There can be an ill-timed question, right?
Yeah.
And,
sure.
But I mean, at the same time, like, if people want to learn genuinely, then ask the question. And, I believe that smart people do smart things, and give them a lot of area and rope, if that's the right word, to maneuver, and, course correct along the way, because a mistake is really just an investment in that person if they learn from it. So, all right, this is a good transition point here. So, whoever did Andrea make these notes?
Yes, she did.
What do you guys think of Andrea?
Andrea's great.
I have to love her. She gave me a job here, so.
We don't have to love her. We get to love her. She is great though. She's
amazing.
Her attitude is off the charts. It is. You can't teach it. You can't buy it. You can't pay for it.
I agree.
It is spectacular. There's no doubt. When she says certain words, it cracks me up.
She definitely brings a very high energy to the
Oh.
workplace. I love it.
It's
a
awesome.
highly needed vibe sometimes when things are off. Andrea always brings
I agree.
bright in people. So
Well, look, I mean, you guys have come at a kind of an interesting time. I mean, you probably pick up some moving parts. You know, there's a phrase you need to remember too, that companies are nothing more than where people work. It's just people
yeah,
doing a job. And just like a family is nothing more where people live and operate. Like, people are just people. And how do you get those people to work together and go for the common, where are we going together? How do we get there together? And, if you can get people to line up towards a vision, and this is where we have to go, and respectfully do what needs to be done. If you're ever in a job, if Upright is the place where you operate for a day, a week, a year, 10 years, whatever the number is, and you're respected and you are growing, etc., then stay there. If you're ever in a place where someone is holding you down for their benefit, get out. It's like, that's a relationship.
Yeah.
If you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or a whatever boss, doesn't matter, that's holding you down, get out immediately.
no, friends, family.
Exactly.
Whenever you're surrounded by people that don't want you to do good or that they're holding you back, that's
Well, there's
probably not the
there's a
most-
comment too, like, people want you to do well, just not better than them.
yeah.
And that's not good. Like,
No.
you need places where you outshine somebody quickly, and then they support that.
Yeah,
so
of course.
seek that today and tomorrow. So the intern experience, question 2. Walk us through it. Let me read these real quick. I'm going to read these out loud, decide if we really want to answer these questions. Walk us through a project you've owned or contributed to. What skills did you build on that you hadn't used before? A moment where you felt challenged, and how you pushed through it. All right. Vanessa, you answer those. Any variation of that segment?
Okay,
Jo-
yeah. I would love to tell you about the project that we were assigned, me and Daniel together.
Okay.
Which we touched on before. We took over the Upright Digital social media. So
Okay.
we did most of our work on Instagram because we were trying to go for this new approach where because as you know, we work for B2B. We try to target like upper, like those high executives.
Right.
So with this approach, we were just
By the
trying
way, we don't hide
ahead.
from anything. We like rich people. I don't even hide it. Go ahead.
Exactly. So just in going with that, we were just trying to see how much more reach we could get. Because, Upright already had an amazing foundation. Like, we didn't have to do too much because, you already have a huge follower base on Instagram. But we were just missing that company, like, identity. Like, we bring so many things to the table, and it was just us showing that to people. Because it was already
We don't
there.
really ever talk about it.
Exactly, yeah. And I noticed that. That's like one of the first things I said when I started working here. I was like, wow, you guys are amazing. You do so much.
We don't ever
And
talk about
I
it.
can't see it online ever. And so we started doing that project, and we created a posting schedule. We've been making videos, carousel posts, all those types of things. And it went super well.
Yeah.
Obviously there was obstacles along the way. I, for one, had kind of a hard time with the target audience because I had to find a balance between, okay, how do I do something different that hasn't been done before, try to like get new people to the account, but at the same time, hey, this is who we are, let's stick within these guidelines and these like this image that we have.
Yeah, we're not trying to. There's a very much of a brand
exactly
that I don't want to break.
right.
Yeah.
And that's been built for so many years.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm afraid not to say this word, but I don't really care. So, look, spoiler alert, I'm not 25 years old.
Okay.
And I know.
Shocking.
I know. And when you are my age, to be relevant on social media without being a douchebag is very difficult.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to be one of those guys that's on going, hey, follow me. This is what we do, because that's another world that I'm not interested in becoming that guy. And you don't want to brag because then you're that guy. You don't want to, there's a lot of things you can't do.
Yeah.
It's very true.
I'm also married with kids. I don't want to embarrass my wife in my family.
Absolutely.
You know, there's lots of things you don't want to do.
Agreed.
And then with the brand, I was such a big part of the early social media part of that. Like it was attached heavily to me. So, you know, Mark would say that Josh was all on the early social media. Well, I mean, I was the social media. I was the only guy that was doing it. I understood it. And so the brand early was, how do we get a high-end audience to pay attention to us without looking douchey?
Exactly. Yeah, and I love
and that's a very fine line to do.
I agree. I love that you said that, because I know me and Daniel, we have both worked with social media before, but it's a completely different audience.
Yeah, it's a completely different approach.
Yeah, I know how to appeal to people our age and the things that they like, but it's not that high-end content.
But I also want those people to follow us.
Right.
So I want a younger crowd to think, oh, this guy's kind of funny. He's, you know, I can relate to him.
No, absolutely. And I feel like that was something that we talked at the beginning about, how there's a really big, solid base of customers, of people that follow and partners for the events that Albright hosts as well. But I always kept thinking to myself, and I will share this with Vanessa while we were like discussing and planning things. It's like, I mean, why can't we just create the awareness for more people to see what we do and to be aware of what the efforts that Albright do to make things great? Because and that was the thing that, and I share completely what Vanessa said. Like I agree with her completely about how at the beginning, whenever we were first getting a look into the social media, it seemed like super non-selfish, because it was everything about the other people that were coming on board into the podcast, the events for the partner companies as well, but it was never about the people that made those things possible, you know. And I feel like that is something that is super important and that people connect a lot with, because, you know, when you see a restaurant, you like the food that you eat, but then when you learn the story about the people that are cooking it, you might feel a stronger connection to it, because, you know, they're generally people that are doing things with love, with care, and that also makes a big impact in the decision making, in my opinion, you know. So I feel like that was something really interesting.
I completely agree. Yeah, and with that, we had the opportunity to actually engage with those people, because it's one thing to be and say, hey, look, I want to reach this audience, but actually going out, we had the opportunity to meet the hosts of the podcast, interview them, and that was an amazing experience. And we really got to like know what they talk about, how kind of get in their minds. You know? And that completely, I've never.
Well, those are big name guys too.
Exactly.
That's the other thing, is people, I think, would be blown away if they see the level of seniority that comes through this office.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I have been so impressed with everything here. Every single time I've had the opportunity to go to a podcast recording, I'm just shocked.
Yeah, these are CEOs of public companies.
Yeah.
And they just roll through here.
Yeah.
And it's super interesting also, because sometimes I feel like a younger audience that maybe is not familiar with the current state of, you know, the oil and gas industry and the energy industry, sometimes it even happened to myself that we're gonna interview someone and I found out who he was prior to the interview, and I was shocked about maybe not knowing who he was, or even whenever we saw that interaction. I remember coming back to the office after a couple of recordings and Andy telling to me, like, you have no idea who you just interviewed. Like, you're not aware of who you just talked to, and this is like a big like star among the industry. So
we had, I guess a couple years ago, we were basically like this, and you know, because we used to basically own our own office before, and now we're renting in this situation, so we can't really have the bar that we used to have attached to it. So we'd always have people come into the podcast studio, have drinks, and they were, you know, we're buddies with these people.
Right.
And a couple of guys would come by, and again, friends, and one of our interns just was hanging out and forgot to kind of send an email the way that we were supposed to, very proper, the way I like to it. And I saw it, and I called him in. I was like, hey, I said, I know it feels like these people are your fraternity brother because of how we hang out, how we talk, how we're having a beer with them, but this is the CEO of a publicly traded company. And I said, this is not real life.
Yeah.
I said, it feels like we're just hanging out with buddies, which we are, but there's a level of expectation that these people...
and a formality that needs
to
be...
a formality, there you go. That is in that guy or girl's world all the time. And He wants to talk to you. He wants to give Daniel and Vanessa advice because these are very benevolent, nice people. Nobody makes it to the top alone. Like no one's going to get in, and they want to give you time and moments and whatnot. But at the same time, like their expectation, and they'll be friendly to you as soon as that email comes. Hey, bud. Like I got the email. He's like, hey, Josh, just to let you know, your intern sent me an email. Call me buddy. And I was like, thank you very much. And I was like, dude.
He was no longer an intern after that.
No, not at all. It's
I'm
a moment.
kidding,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
We've only let one intern go ever.
Okay.
Really?
In 15 years. We had 2, we let 1 go. And I'm not going into it, but only 1 ever. So no, we've had really good success with our interns. And so no, we've had, again, you're getting real life experience right now. You're getting
absolutely.
A lot of work.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Andrea's like, get to my questions. Let's see. The biggest professional lesson from the summer, the best piece of advice you received from a mentor or teammate, and what did this experience change, how did this experience change the way you think about your career? You go first this time.
Okay. I feel like the biggest outcome that I take, I don't know if that's directly the phrase that you gave to it, but I feel like something that you have highlighted a lot has been the team that Lowrey has.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going back to campus a couple of weeks ago and sharing my experience of the internship that I've had with my old boss back at Rockwell. And I was giving her like a little scoop of what we do, the events that are happening, and sharing all the responsibilities that Lowrey takes care of in their daily. And she asked me how many people work there, and because you're telling me it's a small like size company, yet you're talking to me about all of these amazing, greatly performed projects. And I'm telling her, like, yeah, I mean, the people over here, they rock with it because they are aware of what they need to do. And I feel like everybody contributes to the team in such an amazing way. So,
it's high praise.
No, yeah, in a way in which, I don't know, I'm trying to find the word, but in a really non-selfish way.
Yeah.
You know, in which if someone needs help, there's always someone that is willing to give that help up. To give it to them because it's just how they run. I feel like having this experience of the real life work and being able to witness that contribution of a team, that amazing teamwork, that teamwork that you were talking about, is something that is going to stick with me for a long time.
So I can give you a very real example of that, and where that comes from is I make it very obvious to people that nobody is going to carry your water. Does that make sense? So if you're going uphill and we have buckets of water to carry, you have to pick up your water too. Like Vanessa's not going to pick up your water just because you don't want to. If you're tired, she may pick it up for a minute and carry it, but you have to pick it back up. And when I see somebody making somebody pick up their water, I lose my mind.
Yeah.
I lose my mind because I've done every job. I have literally been the janitor. I mean, I have another company that I'm involved with where my title, we had 1,800 employees. And if you look at the org chart, I was the CEO and I was the janitor. And I dressed up as the janitor and I went in as the night shift as the janitor. And when we were big enough and I finally couldn't take it anymore, I had a full janitorial team, and the janitor org chart had CEO, vice presidents, managers, blah 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 blah, janitorial, and then there was a direct line from the janitor all the way up to the CEO. And everybody wondered, I mean, you should see people, they're like, why does the janitor report directly to the CEO? And I said, number one is because I've done that job. And you will treat the CEO the exact same way you treat the janitor. That guy isn't any less important or any more important than you are. And I'm same to me. So if there is a piece of shit to be picked up, you pick it up.
Yeah.
And because I've picked it up and I'll do it. And you're not better than me and he's not better and she's not better or whatever. And when you take that mentality that whatever the job is to be done, just do it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it doesn't. So it really doesn't matter. That's why I go back to I was pointing earlier. We're going this way. We're going this way. And if you're going this way, the little things in your face don't matter. The things that you think bother you don't matter, because we have to go this way. So okay, maybe Josh is annoying me today, but not really. Like, get out of here, Josh. Ugh. Like, we're going this way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's probably something small, and we have to go over here and do this. So I got to pick up this bucket of water, and I've got to carry it over here. And Josh, he's busy. He'll get his water because I know he has to. I know he'll carry it. And if he won't, someone will expose him at some point, or he'll expose himself, and we'll get him later. So that's where that comes from, is nobody is going to carry your water. You're not going to carry mine. I'll carry my own water, because we're all going that direction. That's where that comes from.
And we've had the privilege of seeing that firsthand, since we've been with, like, I know you guys have like your groups of, hey, this is the media team, this is the marketing team. And when we've been working with every team, it's easy to see the big picture, like, oh, this is the event that we're hosting. Mm-hmm. But then when you really sit down with the people that are getting down to the specifics, and you see all the little things that they have to do to get the team to that place,
yeah,
it's amazing.
You notice I don't go to those meetings. Do you know why I don't go to those meetings?
Why?
Why would you think?
Because you trust all these people blindfolded.
That's part of it. What else do you think?
No, because you've been there already.
Keep going, Vanessa.
Maybe you see the big picture already, and you know that, like Daniel said, that they'll take care of the little steps to get you to the big picture.
They're just so much better than me. They're just so much better than I am. And what I've realized over time is that I am a distraction to them. You know, my brain doesn't work the same as theirs. I do see I know where we're going, and my brain sees that very clearly. Like, I can tell I know exactly where we're going. I feel these puzzle pieces. The problem is those meetings for me, I'll screw up that meeting. I will screw up that meeting for them, and I will cause a problem. In which this goes back to, you have to let smart people do smart things.
Yeah.
So if you can paint a picture, like, we're going to go over here, and they're like, okay, great, Josh, now get out of my way. I'm like, great. Because if I go to your meeting, I will screw it up. That's a unique thing where you have to be like, I'm going to trust you with millions of dollars. Good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't mess it up.
Well, but you're going to mess something up.
Yeah, of course.
Like, something's going to be messed up is a relative term.
Yeah.
It's not, are you going to mess something up? Can you fix what gets messed up? How quickly can you fix it? You know, Mark Imicus is a good example. Mark doesn't mess things, but things get messed up, right?
Naturally.
Messed up is a relative term. Whether it's your fault or it's just the fault, right? Something's going to happen. And how quickly can you solve that problem? That's really what you're doing, is you're solving problems. Yeah. I'm causing problems. So no reason for me to go to a meeting and cause a problem. All right. Kind of answer this. What's the single biggest thing you're taking away that you'll never forget?
I would say one thing that I've learned, that in the beginning, it was something that I've never been exposed to, but it really has helped me in the long run. I've had to hear no a lot.
Here?
Yeah, like I do something and I hear no, do it again.
Yeah.
And
okay. You mean with your work or whatever?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that has pushed me to think of things in a creative way that I never have. Like, okay, it's not working in the way that I initially thought. Okay, well, how can I make it work? And I'll do it again and again until
that is a great answer.
Yeah, and that's the big takeaway that I've taken from this. Like, if it's not working, that's not because the idea wasn't working. Maybe you just have to rethink the idea or present it in a different way. Like,
what do you really think that no is, though? It's part of what you're saying, but what do you think it really is?
I think it's just pushing more, like, creative thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't thinking. Not that I wasn't thinking enough, but
No.
It just pushes a different way.
It's opening different doors of your brain.
For sure.
It's forcing your brain. Like the reality is, it's not that you're not thinking. It's your expectations. You are being required to use all of the doors.
I agree.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I came into this with this mindset. I've never had an experience like this before. So my brain is wired a certain way, and then when I get here, I'm like, oh, like that's not going to work that way.
What's the sign in our office say above the chalkboard or above the board?
Think.
Think what?
What does it say?
Big.
Think big. Yeah. No.
I can't believe you remembered the first word, but not the second. The only one that matters. It's think big.
Think big.
But what you just described is what that sign is. That is exactly why that sign's up there. That sign is what you just described. Think big. They're not saying no, they're saying think bigger.
Right.
That is exactly what you just described.
Yeah, and I feel that in everything I do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, like that kind of push in that direction.
Think something. I don't know. It's
That type of thinking.
No, and I feel like that type of feedback at the very beginning could be frustrating because the amount of effort that gets put into things. Just like you said, you always give your A effort, and that's what makes good things to happen, to give the best out of you.
Well, remember, B's get you through school. B's will get you fired.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like that feedback sometimes, I feel like, especially just like Vanessa mentioned, us coming from different, like still in marketing, but in a different context maybe, we have a mind of doing things in a different way. And I feel like that feedback that we have received from this place in particular has really pushed us to be better.
Yeah.
And I feel like that feedback, like I said, that at the beginning could be a little bit frustrated because, oh my God, we've done this like 2 times already. Like, how can we do it differently to finally be what is expected to be? And I feel like that has definitely been something that pushed you to your best version. So
I like it. All right, here we go, folks. The final couple questions. 2 questions. Here we go. How does this internship connect to your bigger career goals? And 2, any advice for future students considering an internship at Upright Digital for next year?
Get a shorter name. If you have a long name.
Now you just got to work a little harder.
Dan.
Then, no, I actually made a joke yesterday about I wish my name was like Timothy or something that had more letters so I can push myself to do more things.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to start. I feel like in terms of like recommending this place or this internship to other people, I feel like it could be maybe if you look at the work that gets done by Upright and the industry that it is involved with, it might be a little bit intimidating because it's a really fast-paced industry, really fast-paced work that needs to be done. But this place offers so much of a learning curve for you to do better and for you to grow into like your biggest potential in terms of like what you get to do. And just like you said, this internship is not an internship of errands. It is an internship of real job, real exposure. And I feel like that has been something that the leadership of the team has been super like welcoming us with that, of inviting us to their meetings, to look how a day in their life looks. And I feel like that exposure brings a really nice experience for you to have as an intern. Maybe in the future it is something that if I mean, not every industry is for everybody, but it's still that exposure truly sets you up for great things, and the expectation for you to do great is something that Upright does amazingly. So.
I could not agree more. And I think that people tend to limit themselves. Like they see a clear vision for themselves, like, oh, maybe I don't want to work in this industry. I know that I've never been interested in oil and gas, but you can't, like, getting from point A to point B isn't just a straight line. You know,
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, like, you don't think that you see yourself here, but then you come here and then you're going to learn things that are applicable in any workplace.
Yeah. That is exactly correct. Keep going. You guys got me fired up right now.
Yeah, no, and I feel like that is something that, like, just like Vanessa mentioned, the experience here can translate to so many different places.
I want it to translate to your life.
Right.
You know, a B+ career isn't a B+ career. It's a B+ life.
Yeah.
Like if you give B plus effort in anything, you're going to be pissed. Like you're not going to be happy. You're going to be overweight. You're going to be slow. Your car's going to be dirty. You know, you're going to hate your job. You're going to hate your wife. You're going to hate your kids. Like it translates. Like you give A plus effort and you will be doing the most with what you've been given.
Yeah, and you know, something that I have always tried to keep as like my personal motto is like you always need to do your best because you are entitled to do it. I feel like every day is an opportunity for you to do the best that you can for yourself, but also for other people.
Definitely.
Because I feel like that's what, when people ask like what are you doing here on earth, what is your purpose,
Yeah.
I feel like it is that. It is being the best that you can for yourself because you need to be great to yourself because you owe it to you.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like also the satisfaction and the peace of mind that at least I have with myself whenever I go to bed and I think that I did the best that I could for me and for others, I feel like that is something that is super important to have in your mind.
I agree. And the thing about this internship is that you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Great.
So for every person, it's going to be different. And if you don't want to gain experience, you don't want that exposure, if you come into this, I just want to put an internship on my resume. You're not going to come out.
See,
with
I would
anything.
argue a little bit with that because I don't think we let anybody get away with anything. We're
That's true. It'd be hard to do that.
like I call Daniel out like for the shirt. You know what I mean? Like we don't really let people slide.
No.
We
I
really
agree.
we really don't.
don't.
I mean, if you're trying to slide by, that doesn't work because
agree.
I'm not interested. I have a policy in my world. It is the A plus, and negativity doesn't touch me. I don't let it touch me, including with interns. Not that you guys have been negative, but with anybody. If you know, before we started this podcast, you guys saw me texting, and you know, I wasn't really pleased with that thread I was on right before this, and that was a negative thing that I was dealing with, and it wasn't something I did. It was something that I was having to deal with some other people's things, and like that is a perfect example of even things like that. There is a world of negativity that I will not let touch me, whether it's friends, colleagues, interns, the office, none of it. So I think interns or employees or teammate, whatever you want to say, there is an expectation. One of the things you just said is great. This is not an internship of errands. That's a great comment. I like that a lot, actually. So listen, you guys are great. I'm glad you feel so satisfied and excited and all this stuff. I hope that you continue to work with us going forward. And really, you guys have put all this effort into these events. You need to come to these events. It would blow your mind. The one you probably won't get to go to, you might get to go to our barbecue coming up in November. Thank you. But the Dubai event would blow your minds. Like that, there is nothing like the Dubai event. And I mean that. The Thrive is incredible. The barbecue is incredible. But Dubai is on another planet. Like when you see, it is all the excellence you guys have talked about in Abu Dhabi. And when you have fire and camels and hawks and or falcons, excuse me, and in the most beautiful setting in the world, you're like, oh, this is what they talk about. So one day,
That is A plus.
it is
Amazing.
it is incredible. And when you see it culminate to that type of effort, that's the world that you're going to get to. So keep going to there. I mean, truly, set your goals high, think big, and just keep grinding this stuff out. So you guys are getting where you want to go. I truly appreciate you both. I really do. Thank you guys for your summer. Are you tired at the end of the days? I'm always curious to see if the grind wears on people.
Just a little sleepy.
A little sleepy?
I'm used to not. My summers are usually more.
Yeah, you're getting pretty. You're into this, but your world's over now. By the way, don't ever graduate college. He screwed up. You should stay in forever.
I mess it up big time.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like the end of the day is a time where the effort that you put into making things happen, and I feel like if we feel a little bit tired of our responsibilities, I wouldn't want to be in the shoes of people in the office that have bigger fishes to,
like kids. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I feel like the workload, I feel like something that I've been really that I've noticed is that even though obviously the responsibility of an intern is not as big as the one that has been here for a longer time, we are able to contribute as much as we can, but we contribute to that other person that is on top of everything, that has so many hats on. And I feel like that is something that I feel like I go home tired but satisfied.
So there's a phrase that my brother used 15 years ago, and I said, Tim, I go, man, you look busy. I said, are you handling this well? And he says, oh, I'm great. He says, I'm like one of those fish that lives 10,000 feet below the sea. He says, I'm just pressurized. And I've never forgotten that phrase. And you end up getting to the point where once you learn how to maneuver and work and do and get your business under control, it doesn't really, you feel like, I have 1,000 things going on right now at this exact second. And I don't feel any more pressure than you do, I promise. And you just learn how to deal with it. So,
I mean, great games bring great players.
Yeah, just learn how to work your system. You'll be fine.
And I feel like that is something that Upright is amazing at. And I feel like this podcast has been really genuine. Like, it's not us trying to just like glaze the experience. I feel like it has generally the experience that we've had, and I feel like there are great games that Upright plays, but there's also a heck of a team that pulls up.
I appreciate
and that
buddy.
Shows the face of the things. Because I have worked in big events in the past, like just like I mentioned earlier, like working at the career fairs on campus. That is a jungle of people hungry
for
jobs.
Yeah.
And you can see the determination of people that they are not playing. Like, they log in because they know what's on and the stakes of it are really big. And those days people tend to not like them. For me, they're great. And not because I am, the perfect employee, that I do everything perfect, but I like the adrenaline of having a fast-paced day, of helping people as much as I can. And I feel like those are things that Upright does perfectly.
Nice.
So,
Vanessa, any last words from you?
Well, for incoming interns, I mean, give it your best. The least you can do is try. Don't limit yourself.
So your parents are going to watch and listen to this. Is there anything either one of you guys would like to say to your parents in English or Spanish?
Well, I don't have anything else to say but to thank them for everything.
Say it in Spanish for them real quick.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll cut that part out.
Papi, mami, muchas gracias por todo. Han sido un verdadero ejemplo y una demostración de que en la vida, con esfuerzo, con cariño y con buenas intenciones, se puede llegar muy lejos. Así que muchas gracias.
Daniel, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I almost cried up, and I don't even know what he said. I understand some of it there.
Gracias, mami, papi. Sin ustedes, nada puede ser posible. So, they're the ones that brought us here. So.
Truly, you guys, that was awesome. And I did understand some of that. My Spanish, too, got me some of that. But listen, I mean, the reason I wanted to get in Spanish because, I'm sure, do your parents speak English? They speak English as well?
They understand way more than what they could.
And your parents, I'm sure your dad, they speak English. But listen, they sacrificed a lot getting you guys up here.
Oh, yeah.
Truly. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's an amazing, like the second gen. I guess you guys are technically first gen, but
it's a different context.
But I mean, look, they're both your parents are here?
No, my parents live in Colombia.
Oh, they do? So you're first gen, and okay.
Yeah. I have a family. My nuclear family is a family of 4.
Yeah.
My younger brother, he is turning 20 in 5 days, I think.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Happy early birthday.
Yeah, and both of my parents, they live in Colombia. So
okay.
I live here with my uncle and my aunt, which I love them pretty much too.
Okay.
So thanks to them as well.
Yeah, no, I actually wrote my college essay about that. Like, you can't take anything for granted. Like, everything that you have, like, is like something that's very normal to you. Like, hey, you live here, you have these opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, people back home don't.
Yeah.
They don't even have access to those things. So you got to work for it, like I'm here, which is more than they have, so.
Yeah. Huge sacrifice. It's fun, and it's great to watch, and you guys are delivering for yourself and for them. So, and for the ones that, there's that phrase that you've heard that there's the shade of the tree. You guys are planting the seeds that for trees that you guys will never see, right? I know I screwed that up, but you understand the concept.
Yes.
So there's a lot of work that goes into this. So you guys are good stewards here. So keep it up. Thank you for your summers.
Thank you.
Don't ever graduate. And,
let me add
a
a few courses to my next semester.
All right, so that wraps the Upright Digital podcast in the Houston location. I'm Josh Lowrey. If you have any questions, look us up on all our socials, which they manage masterfully. Andrea, wonderful job setting this up. She's in our production studio today. That's it. Great job, gentlemen.
Thank
Ladies.
you, guys.
Thank you.